Hi, hello, I'm live and I've got this new thing on my phone that makes me look a bit shiny, so apologies for that. I don't know how to take it off. It's HD, I think, so I'm in HD. So, good morning and welcome to very exciting round 3 of Coffee and Card Online. I never imagined that when I set this up that I'd be at round 3 and that I'd have over 30 people sign up. So that is amazing. Look, I've got my cuppa coffee at the moment. I'm looking at comments. I've got my laptop set up. So good morning, everybody. We've been having a little chat before it started because I got my laptop. So that's really good. And my arm's aching. I need to get some sort of way of doing this. Now, I have a little apology to make to the people whose kits I posted out on Wednesday. I was so rushing to get them out because they were supposed to be delivered on Monday. They got bumped until Tuesday and then they got bumped again until Wednesday. So I lost 2 days. So I was so rushing on Wednesday to get them out that I forgot to put a little biscuit in. I'm so sorry. So everybody else on Thursdays, and so this is just for week 1, a little biscuit for you to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera over. Oh, I think I am. You see the back of my hand there. And we'll get started. Right, I want to just take a little bit. I don't know if I've turned the volume. The volume's really down, so I hope that was working. I just want to take some time. Let me just look at comments coming in. Oh, you've eaten your biscuit already, Geraldine. You were supposed to eat it today. Once you see, the problem is I can't hear you eating your biscuit, but you can hear me if I eat my biscuit. So I'll probably have mine with my cuppa after. Although on Sunday I made an apple and walnut cake, and it is delicious. So I think could be sorry, miss. I think I could be having a piece of that after the class today. So a little question from Julia. About the stamps. She's not on today live, but I want to go through your stamps because this is the first time for the coffee and card I've included a cling stamp, which is the red rubber. The others were photopolymer and they don't have stickers on because they're like see-through. So you will see I don't tend to put the stickers on the back of mine, usually because it's a time thing. Or me being lazy as well, but I am gonna today. So because we're using lots of different ferns, I'm gonna pop them on. So you need to look for the side that's a bit shinier, and when you don't have to do this now, but I'm just gonna do 1 or 2. When you fold it, there's like a split in it, so you peel that off. There is a top tips video on how to do this video on my YouTube. So you get the image. Now that's really sticky, so try to avoid putting your fingers on there, and it will match up with the cut rubber of the stamp, and then you just lay it on matched up, peel it back, and then you've got that sticky too. Okay, they are very sticky, so don't press them down on your blocks too hard. So I'll do another couple. Hi, Maria. Oh, sorry, Jane. We've not really... You didn't miss much, darling. It was really cool today because I could see that there were like 15 people waiting. So that's really good. So I'm just going to do the sentiment one. And then we'll get cracking. So that's a little bit of housekeeping for you. You can do that after. Now, you're probably having to change between blocks a lot today because I do classes. I've got quite a few blocks that I've brought home. Okay, so we'll just get rid of those. You can throw those backs away then from the backs of the... So as you can see, they do stick very well. All right, and then you can see now the image, which image you've got. All right, so I'm so excited about this because it's a while back since I started advertising this one. Just have a cuppa. Craig's just going out for a bike ride. So let's get cracking. This is the card that we are going to make today. And the papers that you need. Originally, I didn't do this with papers, but I felt it needed a little bit extra. So it's entirely up to you, but these are the papers you need, the fern ones. If you've got the dies, I think the dies might cut some of the papers out. So we're going to do a really simple wreath card, okay? These are really, really handy to do. And obviously this set sort of screams out that. Now, the great thing about this set is all you need is a green ink pad. And that's the reason why I chose it. And we are obviously just using the one green ink pad, the shaded spruce. But the images are so detailed that you can stamp off and still get a really, really good image. I just felt that it needed a little bit of different green, and it needed a little bit of some things, not 3D, but not stamped direct onto the card. So in your pack, you've literally got your card base and a stitched circle. These are from the Stitched Shapes. Now, all the products that I use today have already been listed on the description, okay, with a link to purchase them. These dies, the Stitched Shapes, are my most, if anyone was saying what's the first set of dies I should get for basic shapes, I'd say Stitched Shapes, because you get 4 different size circles, 4 different size squares and 4 ovals. I use the circles all the time, so they would be my top tip. Now, good news is you don't need a mat today because it's red rubber. It has that extra cushioning with the extra rubber on there, so you don't need a mat. Okay. Now, what I will suggest is when you're doing your stamping, look how the card is bouncing up, yeah? And it's going to be hard to get that. So I would open your card up flat. And don't forget, those cards of yours have been in those little bags for some time. Okay. Now, there's no right way and wrong way of doing this. It is a handmade card, and often in class ladies can get a little bit worried about mistakes or worried about how they've done things and it doesn't look like yours, but at the end of the day it is a handmade card, okay? And I always say to the ladies, well, you're not sending that card with mine alongside it, so no one who you're sending it to has got mine to compare it to. And often the ladies will come up with other ideas that I haven't even thought of. So what I do whenever I'm making something like a wreath or doing a one sheet wonder, I would start with the biggest image. And this is my favourite image from this set. And the detail on it, the veins on the leaves is fantastic. Shaded Spruce is a very dark ink pad. And yours are brand new, so they're going to be very, very juicy. So that's just a little word of warning. You can see it gets everywhere. I don't know if you saw a picture I put up the other day. My hands were green. I looked like Elphaba from Wicked. So to open the ink pad, for those of you who are new, is we lift it up like that and then we slide. And then to close, we slide and snap shut. If you want to put a sticker here on the front, the stickers are on the back here. Yeah, there is a video on this, all about ink pads, so I just realised I wasn't on shot then. Okay, and then there is a blank one that I've not used here, but what you can do with a blank one, you can stick it here, so that when your ink pad's shut, if you've got a few ink pads open, you can see, just by glancing, what colour they are and not put the stamp in the wrong. Now, everyone's gone quiet, so I presume you're mounting your stamps and getting your bits together. This one's probably going to be slightly longer today, although it is quite an easy card. What we're going to do is we're going to tap, 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 because I've got a few new people today. We're going to tap, 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 and I want you to have a practice if you've got like a scrap paper. And we're going to have a practice. You straight down and back up and look at that gorgeous image. So tap, tap, tap. Now I've put my circle there. I'm obviously not going to stamp on it, but I want to give an idea. And I'm going to stamp at half past. I hope that makes sense. Where the 6 would be, but I'm going to go up a bit. and then I'm going to hold it there, remove that, and then stamp down like that. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that back in the centre, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's probably maybe a little bit lower than on my original design, but that's fine. So then I'm going to repeat that, but I'm going to do it at 12 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to hold that over there, move my circle, and stamp that. Look at that. Look at that image. I just think it is absolutely... Morning, Carol. It's absolutely stunning, the detail on that stamp. So, we've now got 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. I'm just trying to have a look at what I did. Okay, so now... Oh, we're going to get a bit more technical. Now we are going to do... Now, I didn't stamp off when I did that one, all right? But I am going to with this one. And stamp off means I'm going to ink it up. But before I stamp it on my project, you could draw a dot, Maria. That is amazing. And you could also use a smaller circle and draw around it with a pencil. So you've already gone off piece, Geraldine. That's fine. So you could do a dot. And maybe I could do a dot now. Let's see how the dot works. Well, that's about the middle. Yeah. Let's have a go with the dot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do this one. I love this image, but I'm going to stamp off so it's paler. And I'm going to stamp at 10 past. Okay. So it's a little bit paler, can you see? It looks like we've used a different ink pad. So I'm going to stamp off. Hey, the dot's looking good. And then I'm going to stamp at 22. Who knew you'd be getting a lesson in telling the time today? Okay, so what you can do is you can keep putting your circle back and seeing how it look. I've already got a bit of green there because it's on my finger. Oh, look. Get some wipes out, girls. Keep an eye on your hands. But don't worry, because if you get a little bit of green, we can always cover this up, and that's the beauty of this one. Yeah, Alphabet is in progress. If for those of you who haven't seen Wicked, you won't know what I'm talking about, but it's the name of the green witch in Wicked. Now, I think it needs filling out already, that stamp. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stamp off again, but I'm going to go out a little bit more, but twist it slightly to fill it out like that. Yeah, do you see what I'm doing? Just filling it out a little bit. It looks like a bunch of grapes now, that one. And then I'm going to cover up this little bit of green mess that I made. Like that. Okay? And as I say, you can keep putting your circle back just to have a look how it's going. All right. Now I am going to take... I've not put stickers on these two. How are we doing? Right, I do, Carol. And what I say to my ladies is, when you go home looking like this and all gunked up, I call it crafter's hangover. I say... It's the sign of a good night out, or it's a sign of a good afternoon out. Okay, so we're going to use these two smaller ones. Now there are two of these, and they're sort of opposites. Okay, so I just used one when I originally did my card, but I'm going to use two, and I'm going to actually use them on full strength. And these are smaller, so I want to come out quite near to the edge of the card. So I'm going to go like that. And then, should I use that one? Do I want them both like facing down, like sort of that one is? I think I'm going to use the same one and have it sort of facing up, if that makes sense. This is at like quarter past. I think in quarter to, I don't think I said that. Okay, now they're not sticking out very far. Let me just look at my original card. So I got to this point and I thought, I like it, but if I keep doing that, I think it needs a little bit of something extra. So this is when I came to, and you can, if you want to just do it by stamping, then you carry on just stamping. That's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to now start. some of you got the dies, so I think the dies should fit some of the papers. So I'm going to cut out, and I can't speed this up, so you will have to listen to me cutting out. And I'm going to cut out, can you see, some of them are quite big, so I'm going to cut out some of the smaller ones. And I know you're going to hate cutting into the papers, and I've had so many messages about these papers, and they are absolutely, you can see now why I knew I wanted to use this suite. For those of you who are enjoying that I do my parcel in the post, I'm actually thinking of doing the parcel in the post for July is going to be the peony, but I'm thinking of doing this suite for the August one with more green card and more of these papers, so that you can carry on with your ferns. Okay, now for these ones, which ones have I used? Just checking. I've used the ones where there's two close together, so like that one and that one. And I know you're cutting into the papers and you're cutting, but you've got two of each. And if you want to use different ones, so you're not cutting into the paper as much, then use different ones. But I am going to be doing a card, I think it's week 3, where we're going to use lots of scraps, because I like to include one where we use scraps up. Any comments? I think we're all busy, aren't we? Let's do a little bit of cutting. Am I using my ribbon scissors for cutting? I don't think I am. No, I'm using them. So I've never got 27 on. Oh, wow, that's a record. Hee. So what I do when I cut these out is, I don't know if you can see, I let my scissors don't really move. I move the paper, and I'm leaving a tiny, tiny white edge. I'm out of focus there, so I'll move it down a bit. Oh, I can't see. Just getting used to it. There, it's a bit better. I use a tiny white edge, leave a tiny white edge, little bit of white space. So don't cut right up to the image, and I let the paper do the work. So I move the paper. Now this is quite delicate. We'll probably have a couple of stalks cut off. You have a ribbon on your ribbon scissors. Well, that is very clever. I used to, actually. Oh, it's nice to be crafting. I have really been looking forward to this. So a little shout out. I trialled a new YouTube live last Thursday because just to catch more people on an evening, and I want to do a regular evening slot. And YouTube works best for me because it doesn't alienate anybody that's not on Facebook. So I started it on Thursday, and basically the idea is if you want to craft along with me, Thursdays was actually a workshop, an online workshop, and people placed orders and I showed products and things and did some crafting. But if you want to craft along with me and chat like we are now, then you can craft with anything you've got at home. Or if you just want to observe, then that's fine, and ask questions, and I can show you products and stuff. That's all good. But what happened on Thursday was Craig, well, he wasn't banished upstairs, but he took himself off upstairs and he started tinkling along on the piano. And because he'd left the bedroom door open and it's directly above where I'm sat, we could hear him quite quietly, I might add, discreetly. And well, he started playing the show tunes, and everybody started commenting, and then I think he realised that because he could hear what I was saying, that people could hear him, so he went on to do like a little concert of show tunes. So it got us thinking. So this Thursday at 7:30, and hopefully every Thursday, we're planning on doing a little collaboration, paper crafts and piano. So I do hope you will join us. So I've done 2 of those big leaves, and I'm going to pop those there like that. just because I just feel it gives an extra dimension to it. Can you see it's making it pop a little bit more now, the card? And then I'm going to do these two, and I'm probably going to fill them here where I feel it's a little bit, probably do them there, maybe move that one round. Okay, these are a little bit more intricate to cut out. So yeah, there is a link already. I've set up like an event on here for Thursday at 7, and this week is musical theatre again. So it will attempt requests, but obviously it can't play everything, and it to be honest, it's like I'm really chuffed he's actually doing it, because it's quite daunting prospect, and I know he's quite nervous. So but he's looking forward to it, he said yesterday. So yeah, and then I'm like, because I'm like I'm like an ideas person. So then I start like going, oh, thanks girls, saying you loved it. Because I'm like an ideas person, I'm suddenly like going, oh right, well, won't we could do themed weeks. Could we do ABBA? We could do ABBA week after, and then we could do film genre. And then I'm like, and then I said, right, well, 1 week maybe we could do Les Mis, and I could dress up. We could dress up, and we could have a French flag. And it's like, whoa, steady on. So yeah, I do get a bit excitable. So yeah, but this week is musical theatre. So expect, he loves Phantom. He loves Les Mis. Bit of Miss Saigon he knows. Love Never Dies. It's a lovely song it plays from The Woman in White, which is an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical that I'm reading the book at the minute, and the music from it, there's a couple of tracks on it that's brilliant. It's also like been learning some new ones. There's a lovely one from Waitress that I like that he plays. But the sheet music, if you download it, it's so expensive. It's about £4 per item, but he loves music books. I love getting him a music book as a present. And then we'll probably do film 1 week, because he's got quite a few songs from Star is Born that he likes playing. I mentioned Greatest Showman, but he groaned when I mentioned Greatest Showman. I don't think he's a huge fan. Disney themes, oh Jill, my goodness. Perfect. I would love Disney, but wait till I tell him that, because he will absolutely. He played at a wedding a few months ago, and they were huge Disney fans, and he had to, Paula, you are so honey. Oh, the Ideas, I think you mean, Ideas Girl. He had to play, they were huge Disney fans. So he had to play like loads of Disney songs. And he, you know, the thing with the Disney, you know, he's a 46-year-old guy. He sort of knows Disney, but it's not his like #1 love of music. And the bride wanted to walk down the aisle to the Married Life theme from Up. You know, that bit that makes you cry. And it's like, oh my goodness, he spent weeks learning this Married Life. So he'd had enough of Disney by the end of that. So I'm just looking at my card, and I'm looking at my other one, and I think I'm quite happy with that. So what I would do here now is I would take my circle off, and I would glue the little ferns that I've cut out down, but I would be very careful when you move it. Oops, you see, and I'm only going to glue, in fact, because I can see where I like them, I'm actually going to pop my finger on it, put the glue direct on the card like that, look, and then press it down with my scissors or an implement, so it's only stuck on the stem. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay. And the thing with wet glue, if you're using wet glue, it is my go-to. It does give you a few seconds wiggle room. I feel like I'm performing surgery here at the minute. Right, so I've sort of stuck them down. That's just a little tip. Rather than take them off, put glue on the end and then get glue on your fingers everywhere. Right, so I'm happy with that. Maybe just pull this one there a little bit. Maybe move that. Oh, just watch because my circle's stuck down now. Don't press your circle down. Oh, fail. I've just ripped it. Oh, well, never mind. Right, just maybe hover your circle over. Okay, so let's just, yeah, don't put your circle down. Don't press it down. I'm just going to move that out of the way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my sentiment. And I absolutely love... Oh, yeah, no worries, Fiona. We'll catch you later. Can you feel the love tonight? I think he does like playing that, Jill. Yeah, maybe we'll do that another week. He does like playing that one. I think, and he quite likes playing Pocahontas, Colours of the Wind. And I like Whole New World from Aladdin. So I love this sentiment to a friend that makes me smile. I've got lots of lovely friends that make me smile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap, tap, tap in my ink pad. Don't rock it. And the great thing about stamping onto a circle is if you get it wonky, you can just rotate your circle. Ta-da! Then what we're going to do, can you see this little effect I've got going on? I've stamped with the big leaf stamp over it, but I have stamped off so it's paler. So I'm going to ink that up because I feel it's too pale. So I'm going to stamp it off quite firmly because I don't want this to be too... Oh, look, that's stuck to there now because it had glue on. Hey, by Tombow, it's very good glue. And I'm going to stamp it over, but I'm not going to press too hard. There. Oh, that's maybe a bit too hard. Maybe you should stamp off twice, but you can still read it. And then we're going to foam pad that up. What time are we on? Oh, we're on nearly 11. I know that... oh, I did get the foam pads out. I know that some people have to go at 11. Sharing computers and things and doing other things. We're just a little bit longer today because I had to go through the mountain of the stamps. I think I'll put 5 on actually. So I'm now going to pop that over and hope that it looks okay. And as always, I'd love you to send me pictures of what you've made. There we go. And if you don't like the leaves, like that are sticking out a little bit, you can always go under and pop a little bit of glue under there. I think that's what I did once I did that one. 'Cause I made these cards about a month ago at least. So thank you, Kate. I'm glad you like it. I'm rather partial to it. And I came up with that one all by my own. Because sometimes we do get ideas from elsewhere. So, a couple of little housekeepings. Oh, we've got 28 on now. Brilliant. Oh, I was going to show you something else. Now, wasn't going to do this till the next coffee and card. But if you want to, it's really lovely to stamp your envelope. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to actually get another stamp out. I'm going to get this speckle one because you can miss this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp just the flap of the envelope. And there's a little trick. So, to do the top of it, you keep it closed like that. Okay, but then if you want some here, I don't want it to get on here, so you have to open the flap and then stamp like that. Oops. Oh, I've got all green on my nice tablecloth now. And then I'm going to take the other one. I'm going to stamp off. I think I can afford to stamp again without re-inking. Yeah, look at that. Look at the tones in that. I know ladies, when they come to my studio, look, I've got green on there, like to do this. I'm going to take the small one and fill in. Oh, hang on. Look, you see, I've done it 3 times and not re-inked. It's very effective. Okay, and then you can go over it with the speckle and just fill in any gaps. Ta-da! So how beautiful. It just took a little bit of extra time, but now we have a matching envelope. I was saving that for another week, but it does look nice. Hi, Vanessa. Your tea's gone cold. My coffee's clapped cold as well, but I'm going to have a cup of tea in a moment. So that's that. I am going to have a drink of my cold coffee. Thank you, Kate. And let me show you week 2. So week 2, this is week 2's card. I've got a little bit of ribbonage going on with just jade. We're going to do this card next week. So you've got a card with a bit cut off in your pack. So that's our card for next week. So this probably won't take us long next week. I also wanted a quick chat about the next round of coffee and card, which would start, my goodness, middle of July. I'm just still trying to work out what stamp set to use. It has to be around the £20 value. And it has to be really something that I can use just with one ink colour, although I have got my eye on something that we could use the early espresso with that you had in the last round in the ornate thanks. They would make a lovely stationery set, absolutely. I should really leave that there while I'm talking. So yeah, so it would start, let me just think of dates. I think it's something like, well, it was mid-July it would start, 5 weeks. So watch this space, because if you've got any suggestions for stamp sets you like, then feel free to send them through. And if a few people say the same one, then I will look into that. And then I'll be doing that mid-July until, for 5 weeks, that would go towards end of August, heck. And then I'm going to be looking at doing Christmas and probably continue with Christmas coffee and card. Thanks, Jill, and I really hope your stuff arrives today. I'm hoping to do Christmas then, because we'll all get our Christmas cards done then. How fantastic would that be? Yeah, I was thinking of the boho indigo, but if people don't have the stamps, I was thinking of the papers from it, but yeah. So yeah, if you've got any questions, or if you want to send me pictures of what you've made, then I would love to see. And thank you for joining me. I was so excited about today because now got still 28 watching. Hope to see you on Thursday night at 7:30. It would be fabulous if you could join us for some paper crafts and piano. I don't know what I'm going to be making yet. Probably use a new stamp set that I haven't used yet. And yeah, I will see you there. So the video will stay on here. And oh, I don't know if you've noticed, it's very discreet, very small, and I've just noticed in the bottom right of my screen, I can't point to it because it should say subscribe to. There's a little box with Paper Haven logo on. You can click on there and you can subscribe to my channel. So I've worked out how to do that, which is lovely. There's a lovely bunch of wildflowers, can't remember the name. Well, if you have a look at the page number, you've set your trimmer. I think you mean your timer, but that's all good, Kay. I get what you mean. Thanks, Jane. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please do, and set notifications, which will alert you when I'm on. And we'll hopefully see you on Thursday night. And you can sing along because we can't hear you. So please feel free to sing along to the show tunes on Thursday. And thank you for watching. Stay safe and keep crafting. Thank you. Bye.